I bring you greetings from Florence Freshman Center. During the course of this next video, my desire is to carry you through a day at Florence Freshman Center to kind of show you what happens once you drop your student off or once the bus lets off here at Florence Freshman Center. I'm going to carry you through the day, and I'm going to use this as an opportunity to demonstrate to you how it is that we present the course Career Preparedness. In the morning is for when students get off in the morning time to basically have 4 cars unloading at one time. As you see right there, that was 1 car unloading, but the desire is to have 4 cars. The way that you make that occur is that basically you have the first car come all the way up into the traffic course right there, and then the other 3 will line straight down the front right here in front of the building. That's the desire that is held by the individuals if you're dropping off your student, and adults are waving the cars to come forth so that we can get 4 cars. This just basically makes it a little bit more efficient as it pertains to the dropping off of the students and making the traffic line flow smoother. What you see right here is the perfect desire as it relates to having a car pull all the way up to the traffic course right there. Next thing you see is on the inside lane. These are basically employees that are coming in during the course of the morning. The outside lane is definitely the lane that is needed as it pertains to being able to drop off your student. That inside lane is used by employees as well as for buses when they come forth. As you well know, the buses of course drop off at the Career Tech facility, and here in just a couple of seconds when the buses start arriving, I will show you a picture of just how that is supposed to work. This picture simply shows students after they get off the bus walking in the building. Once your child enters into the building, basically what occurs is they walk themselves into what is called the multi-purpose area. The multi-purpose area becomes the holding tank for in the morning. The multi-purpose area is staffed by adults who are in the building to welcome your students as they come. These tables right here, and I'll show you a picture of this later once more students arrive, basically becomes where the CMP workers set up and sell breakfast for the students to engage upon in once they get into the multi-purpose room. You all are probably familiar with the multi-purpose room, being that the multi-purpose room is the area that we had our orientation in. They come in here and they sit in here until it's time for us to dismiss. We start the dismissal process at roughly about 7:41 for students who have PE or classes at Florence High School, and then the process takes place for the students who have classes here on the Space Campus at 7:43 so that they'll have time to make it to their lockers and get to their first period classes before the tardy bell rings at 7:50. Over there at that door, what you have there is where band students can put their instruments or athletes can put their stuff. As we let off, the high school students basically go into the main building. It's very important that our parents then get into the inside lane as our freshman students get into the outside lane to enter into the building. They walk this trajectory here onto the sidewalk into the front of the building. It's basically what occurs there. This is just another picture to show what happens when the students get off the bus as they walk across enter into the Florence Freshman Center. As buses come in, you'll see that Ms. Dalrymple stands over to the side over there to stop the traffic. The goal of this is to allow the buses to be able to swing out into the traffic, hopefully without being able to have the end of their bus swipe a car. So that's the idea of why it is that she's standing over there. Then of course the buses come in, make that turn, drive all the way, to see the happy kids coming, drive all the way over there to the Career Tech facility where Mr. Lett receives them, and that's where they do their drop off. And of course the high school students go into the Career Tech wing there, and the freshman students walk from the outside lane over to the Florence Freshman Center. This is about the time in the morning when the majority of the buses start to arrive. As you can see them coming, and of course Ms. Dalrymple over there stopping the car, as I alluded to earlier in the presentation. This is the line for breakfast right here. Students are allowed to be able to purchase breakfast as they get ready to go into the auditorium, the multi-purpose room. Ms. Hughes here is here every morning to sell breakfast to the students as they get ready to come in. Again, this is the line for breakfast. Ms. Hughes is here every morning selling breakfast to the students who desire to eat as they get ready to come into the multi-purpose room. This is what it looks like when you first enter our building. On the right, you have the office of the SRO, immediately walking in. If for some reason you needed to come in and check out your child, of course you would come to the second door on the right where Ms. Webster will happily take care of you. Going to the left right here, you have the main office. See, it says office. You walk into the main office. Immediately to your left, we will find our Director of First Impressions, Ms. Roxy, on a normal day. To your right, you will have the seating area, just to show you about what happens when you come in the office. Going on back here into the office area is the office that we have right here for our bookkeeper to be able to handle the financial aspects of what takes place at the Freshman Center. Next office that you have here will be the principal's office here. Moving on down, on the far left right here, you have a conference room that is set up for meetings that take place here at the Freshman Center. And then going to your right here on your left, you have our counselor's suite where Miss Mary's office is. Then on your right, you have right here Miss Brandy, Nurse Brandy, which is where the nurse's office is. And that takes care of the office complex. Here's a still shot of the first floor main hallway. To the left, you have the 3 math classrooms. To the right, you have the 2 social studies classrooms. And out of your view, there is also an art classroom. Here you have the corridor that connects Florence High School to Florence Freshman Center. Florence Freshman Center students, after exiting Florence Freshman Center, will enter into the science wing. They will travel down through the science wing to the math wing. Once they enter into the math wing, they will walk all the way to the end of that hallway and go all the way until they come to a wall where they must turn right or left. This is the hall where they must turn right or left. When they turn right, they will see that they can go down towards PE or to the commons area. Turning left will carry them to the career tech facility areas that they might have as it relates to Mr. Marsh or Miss Graves. Turning right and going down past the library will get them to their other career tech classes. Here we have the library, which is a shared entity for Florence Freshman Center and Florence High School. At the end of this hallway, students in most instances will be turning left to be able to go to the career tech classes that they have. Going left and going down towards the end of this hallway will carry them to their welding class, their graphic arts class with Mr. Bruce, or to their cosmetology class that they might have at the end of the hallway as well. I'm going to pretend right now that it's lunchtime. What happens is our students in 2 waves come out of the Florence Freshman Center right here, make their way into this door right here, which is beside the career tech facility. You might remember this door from earlier this morning, as this is the door that the students, Florence High School students, once they exit the bus, enter into to go into the main building. And once they enter into the main building, they walk to the commons area. Some of you are probably very familiar with this building. You know how that works. And we'll carry you down. You go down this main hall right here, which is the career tech wing. Some students have Mr. Marsh. This is where Mr. Marsh's class would be. Here on my left, coming up, you would have Mrs. Marsha Carter's culinary class, or Mrs. Graves on the right in relationship to the cooking classes that she offers here at Florence High School, which our Florence Freshman Centers take as well. Just want to kind of give you a trek or an idea of the trek that takes place as relates to how we go to lunch each day. Turn in the corner here, and then of course the main trek is all the way down towards the end down there, which is where the cafeteria will be. In just a few moments I'll pick back up there. Okay, now we've made it down into the commons area. Here to the right, of course, you will have the gym or the dome, which is where our students have PE each day. To the left right here, you have what is known as the cafeteria. Each day during the course of 4th period, this is where we come eat. Coming from down here, down at the Freshman Center, to be able to come eat in the cafeteria. So I just kind of want to give you an idea of what that was, remind you of all what it looks like as it relates to the cafeteria. For those of you who haven't had the opportunity to be able to come into the Freshman Center, I'm now going to take you upstairs here. This is after school is out one afternoon. As I finish up this video and prepare it to be able to send it to you. Very proud of this stairwell right here. It's a very beautiful stairwell. Oops, don't want to miss a step. Looking down through here, as you come to the top of the stairwell, you have Mr. Winston's class right here on the right. Down here you have the English wing. And then here you have, of course, lockers in the hallway. Walking towards the biology wing and foreign language wing, I guess you would say. To the left here you have Mrs. Arnett's Family and Consumer Science. Then you turn down the main hallway here. And on the main hallway here you have, to the left right here, you have Miss Dalrymple's office. Moving further on down here, being on the biology wing, you have our Spanish class right here with Miss Lindley. And then of course down here you have our biology classes, as this is the biology wing with the labs, as well as in the event that we ever have a parent meeting. The parent meeting will take place on the right down there in Mrs. Osmond's room.